Hello everyone, I'm Tim from Tim's PC, and I build custom PCs to suit anyone's needs or budget. Also live stream my builds and repairs for transparency and educational purposes. So if you'd like to get an awesome new PC and you'd like to see it get put together live, send me a message today. Alrighty, so had a little bit of an Easter break, I guess you could say, the last couple of days. Haven't really done too much. But I'm back here again tonight. I know it's Monday, but it's kind of like a Sunday night, right? Yeah. So, we're going to be building Andrew's PC here tonight. So, Andrew hit me up and we've put together a 4070 Ti rig. So, this has got to be a pretty common configuration right now because it's really good price performance. So let's get stuck right into it. So we got the Ryzen 5 5600. We got a B550M Pro VDH Wi-Fi motherboard from MSI. We've got a 1TB NVMe SSD, 32 gigabytes of RAM. We've got our Cooler Master LED tube sleeve. So these are RGB sleeves that go over the all-in-one liquid cooler pipes.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
So Christine's got these in her PC. So they're a little bit less common. I guess I probably don't spruik them too much to people, probably because it's just a little bit more of a pain in the ass to put them together. They're not necessarily not really straightforward pieces to install, especially if you like to keep the cabling all nice and neat. But that's okay. That's a me problem. It's not a you problem as a customer. We got a 750 watt power supply and we got a Silverstone Farah 511 case. So and the only other thing we haven't mentioned was the cooler here. We've got an Asus TUF LC240 ARGB cooler. They're pretty good cooler. They come with believe it or not, comes with a 6-year warranty. That one. What's up?
Andrew said good evening too.
Hey Andrew, how you going? So this is Andrew's PC that we're building tonight. So yeah, happy days. So look, let's get stuck right into it.
Richard says hi.
Hey Richard, how you going? Good to have you with us.
George says hi. It's interesting.
Hey George, how you going? Good to have you with us. Okay. So pretty much the best value MSI B550 motherboard that you can get, because you got the included Wi-Fi and Bluetooth CNVI module that's bolted into the motherboard there, pre-installed from factory. And then you've got a motherboard with 5 fan headers, USB-C, USB 3, 4 SATAs, 2 USB 2s, and we've got 2 5-volt RGB headers and 2 12-volt RGB headers. So pretty good board. Also dual M2 there as well. So definitely a motherboard worth picking up. See, sometimes when you're looking at what's the best value motherboard, you really need to make some decisions about Wi-Fi. So that will probably dictate some board choices to you. Now, the thing you got to consider is that you can always add a Wi-Fi Bluetooth PCIe card for about $50. So if you can get a motherboard that's basically less than that $50 and then has the included Wi-Fi, that can help you come under your budget there, because you're saving a little bit of money there on the motherboard. and you're not buying an additional Wi-Fi card as an afterthought. So if you're worried about the quality of the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth that's built in, it's pretty good quality. If you want to upgrade it, you can go and upgrade it. You can get a Wi-Fi 6 Bluetooth 5.1 module, because I think the version that's pre-installed on this motherboard is Wi-Fi 5 or AC Wi-Fi. What do we got there? Oh, an ad hoc VGA to DVI. Okay, cool. I'm all for a hack job. That was what it was like back in the day. Who posted that? PC Master Race. That's a good one. You can share that if you want.
So,
Yeah.
SpongeBob says, are you building this PC for Andrew Tate? No.
Am I building this for Andrew Tate? Oh, I don't think so. If I was building a PC for Andrew Tate, he'd have to pay a lot of money, man.
Probably more than what he's got.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I'd get publicity, but I'm not sure if I want that publicity.
No.
So
He's a douchebag.
So maybe if he pays me lots of money, we can build his PC. I don't think he gives a shit. What color is my PC? My PC's black. I can pick my PC up. My PC's on the floor. I can show you my PC if you want. Here's my PC. So I got those Thermaltake Tough Fan RGB fans in there. And it's a NZXT H5 flow case. And they're pretty reasonable specs, because I just don't get a lot of time for gaming these days. And considering how much expensive graphics cards are worth, it's a lot of money to just have sitting there doing nothing in your computer, if you know what I mean. Alrighty. So we've got our CPU, our memory, and our M2 drive installed. We'll leave that top slot free to install another M2 drive down the track, because it will get covered up by our graphics card.
What are you doing?
What are you doing, little puppy?
She was making her way to this table.
Don't you even think about it. So we decided for the dog, we decided on the name Bailey. Thanks to the person who suggested that. We thought that was great. Couldn't think of a more appropriate name, because she's pretty stupid, but she's pretty sweet as well. And so Bailey's is an alcoholic beverage, makes you stupid, but it tastes really sweet at the same time. So I thought that was pretty appropriate for the dog that we've got. Hey Boris, how you going? Good to have you here. Yeah, no, it's been a while. Like I totally get that. Not everyone can watch every night.
You're so naughty.
Yeah.
Laura says having a boot issue with the Wife's PC probably an easy fix, but to be on my knowledge.
Having a boot issue. That's a little bit strange. Okay. So like I've said before, this cooler here, it's good value, and the quality of it's good. It's got a nice long warranty there on the pump. However, it's not necessarily the easiest cooler to put together. Okay? So if you are a first timer and you're looking at the price of this and you're going, oh wow, it looks so good, I'm going to save a quick $50, you need to make some decisions about how badly you value $50 and how much you value your time and frustration. Because it might turn out that $50 doesn't mean that much to you. And like always, we... Yeah. I hate having the sticky over everything with Asus.
And
Yeah.
also, what's the extra part I can put in later down the track?
Oh, it's just an extra SSD.
Or hard drives if you want.
Yeah, you can add extra hard drives as well. The motherboard's got 2 M2 slots, so you can add 2 high-speed SSDs. You got one, and so that's what you got for now. But then, yeah, you can add another one. It's easy as. You don't need any technical knowledge really.
Laura says he's going to send you a screenshot of your messenger of the boot issue.
Yeah, no worries.
Eddie says hiya.
Hey Eddie, how you going? Good to have you here. Alrighty, so this cooler isn't symmetrical. That's the first like fun bit with it. The second fun bit is you have this plastic ring here. Yeah.
SpongeBob says, Brighton, what is your full name? It is just Tim.
What's my full name? That's a little bit strange.
I'm going to say Australian dollar is equal or less than the rest.
Oh, yeah, much less. Yeah, it hasn't been looking very good for a while, I don't think.
Tim and Fanwell says, I would have the street Jesus and biased them.
Hey Finn, how you going? Good to have you here as always. Okay, that looks about right. So you got to get this O-ring. You got to get this. Sorry, it's not really an O-ring. It's just shaped like that. It's like a plastic clip. Then you got this bit of metal there that you've got to get on, and then you have the actual design on the block there that you need to keep orientated the right way. So can be a bit of a pain in the ass to actually put it together.
How much is? Everyone wants to know how much is the extra SSD.
So yeah, you can get. It depends how big an SSD you want. If you want me to chuck another one in there before I ship it off or something like that, but yeah, just let me know.
Richard wants to know big weekend. What have you done to your eyebrow?
Oh, what have I done to my eyebrow?
Fluffy cat.
Yeah,
Fluffy cat and stairs.
stairs and cat. They're good.
Stairs one.
Yeah.
No. Fiona says you're sounding a little flat there, Christine. Did you have a wild Easter? No. Maybe playing video games for like all day. Maybe. Or rather, wild Easter.
Okay. So we use the actual plastic mounting bracket on our AM4 board for this.
Andrew said the same as what's in there now.
Same as what's in there now. They're $75.
Laura sent you a photo. No. Okay. You have the window open.
Okay, so
What else do you want?
it's in that position there. So once you do everything right, it'll fit in there nicely. We've got pre-applied thermal compound on the bottom of this, so if you didn't see me put on any thermal compound and you're freaking out as to what's going on there, don't worry, it actually comes pre-applied. And now we can worry about getting these fans mounted. So this radiator is going to be mounted to the top in the exhaust position, so we'll make sure that our fans are around the right way. Yeah, oh, we can do that. I don't have a spare on me tonight, but I can get one. I can get one before I ship it off. Yeah. She's had enough of my shit. Okay, so that is everything all hooked up and ready to go on the motherboard side of things. But we do have these strips. Now I may as well get these in place before we go much further, because these can be a little bit awkward, pretty much on the same sort of level as doing that cooler. It's not an easy to install cooler,
Shit, sorry,
nor are these tubes. So basically, it's just like a daisy chainable fan. You got your power in one end, and then it chains out the other end. So basically we're setting these up as a loop where one is connected through the other one.
Tim,
Yeah.
Darren wants to know how long does it normally take you to finish a build?
How long does it normally take to finish a build?
Probably an hour or two.
An hour, and it depends, between an hour and 3 hours, I guess, for something a little bit more complex.
And like the lead dynamic cases,
Yeah.
they usually take longer.
And then like longer for like a custom liquid cooled build or something like that.
So Andrew says, okay, we'll get you to put one in, please.
Yeah, no worries.
Well, are you too scared to play now, Cat? I flicked his toy at him, and I got him in the tooth. And now he doesn't want to play with it. It's got these little metal beads on.
Okay. Alright. So once you get the tubes on, you want to get the pipes kind of orientated the correct way. That can make these a real pain in the ass. But it will be somewhat easier because we can mess around with them while it's outside of the case. Because once we get into the case, that's where the fun stuff will begin. Okay. Okay, and we've got an extension cable for the other end. Very nice. Oh, okay. So you've got like a double splitter here. So should we do them individually? I think we will, just because it'll probably look neater. We can just tie these. We can just tie these ones back. We can use these little plastic clips there, they just hold the cables in place. You don't have to use them, but since we got them here, we'll put them on. Okay. And so then there's just these two cables here to conceal. And so that shouldn't be too big a deal. And then these ones here, these cables here will just go up the front there of the cooler, and this will go around the back. Okay, and then we've got the pump and the RGB for the pump. Alright, So that should be fine. I don't think I need that splitter. Okay, so that's all sorted over that side. Now we can turn our attention to the case. Sorry, just give me a second. So we need an extra RGB fan for the back of this. Pretty simple. Just leave it there with just the 2 bolts for now, because I'll probably adjust the height. So here's our 750 watt power supply, and that's all the juice you need realistically for a 4070 Ti. They're quite power efficient. Okay, and we've just got some cables to untie at the back here. So I always like to remove these wire ties and stuff. Like, you know, it's not too big a deal if you just use what you got there.
Buddy! So naughty.
Okay.
fluffy now. What? What's wrong?
What's wrong?
Fluffy.
He's fluffy. That's his problem. That's what he's bitching about. It's the only problem I can see. He sits, lies around all day. So we'll chuck on our rear IO shield, and then we've got a couple of offsets to adjust.
Row. I don't speak cat. I don't know what row means. Is this one play? Maybe. And then you squint your eyes with it. Go. Go. My guinea.
Okay. Yeah.
Tim talked a bit about Intel laptop CPUs and what all the different levels mean. And some like HX, HK, all that sort of shit.
So the H is just laptops. You won't see a H SKU in any of the desktop models. But yeah, it's pretty much a similar story to desktops, with the K series being the flagship models, and you don't have Q for desktop, but Q is essentially the more energy efficient, power efficient model. Yeah.
Jamie says, hi Tim, up to what GPU can the 750 watt PSU run before you have to upgrade to an 850?
You could probably get away with a 4080 most of the time. Depends what CPU and stuff you run with it.
Try it. Check that website out.
Ah yes, Outer Vision for the power supply calculator tool.
Tim,
Yeah.
wants to know, are you going to add the extra cable so I can put the 2 extra hard drives in I have down there?
Yes, yep, just make sure you remind me. So I need to add a couple of SATA cables, hey? 2, yep, alright. No worries. Can do. Sorry, what's that?
The letters and stuff.
Oh, you're asking me questions I don't even know.
Oh, okay.
I'd have to look them up. I don't really sell laptops, so I'd have to look it up, to be honest. What's that?
Oh, the cat's ripped a hole underneath the chair.
Oh.
And it's inside the chair.
Yeah.
James says, hi mate, how are you?
Hey mate, how you going? Good to have you with us. Sorry, I've got a bolt that's being a little bit uncooperative here. There we go. Okay. Did you use these little plastic clips in yours?
Plastic clips?
Yeah.
No.
I didn't think so.
There was plastic clips. It's the first time hearing of it.
First you're hearing of it, eh?
Maybe they just didn't come with mine. It was a while ago that I got them. Is that a different version? No?
I thought the box said V1.
I don't know. Maybe I just didn't see it in the box and was like too keen to put them in my computer.
Possibly. That's why I thought I'd ask.
I don't think they really need.
No. I
Certainly
sort of feel like I could benefit from them just with this configuration. But see, I'm my own biggest critic anyway, with what it looks like. Okay, so alright, so it's pretty simple from here. We've got plenty of room to plug in our CPU power at the top there. And then we can just lift this fan up.
Tim.
Yeah.
I've only just realised how big the case is you're building in that size room.
No, it's a full mid tower ATX.
Stop moving it. Daniel says hi.
Hey Daniel, how you going? Good to have you with us. Okay. So I think I'm gonna need that splitter from earlier because I've got 6 fans and five fan headers. So we will go ahead and utilize the included splitter for one of our headers. Okay, so because we've got a micro ATX board in a full-size ATX case, we need to route our cables discreetly behind the motherboard. Because we don't want a whole heap of cable mess down the bottom. So these little cables here for your front panels, they can be a bit of a pain in the ass. But I can tell you the secret is doing several thousand of them, and after 1,000 or so, you'll be good. You won't find it a pain in the ass anymore. Okay, so then we've got yeah, well, I'll talk to Andrew about exactly what he wants done with that.
What's the same one as what's in the another one?
All right.
Oh, fucking Jesus Christ, cat.
Because he's a fluffy cat. That's what they do. Okay.
Jesus Christ. And it says there's some slick AO tube covers, RGB tube covers.
Yeah, they look all right. They are very fiddly, so I wouldn't recommend putting them in if you were sort of new to it.
So how come you went many ATX?
Price.
Need to fix them. Bloody hell. says this MSI motherboard is very popular on the channel, seems reliable and it.
Oh yeah. There's nothing wrong with this motherboard. Yeah, I've literally sold hundreds and hundreds of them, so I can attest to them being reliable. Like out of hundreds, I've had like a couple returns.
Big bubble wrap.
Now there should be a RGB. Here we go. Right here. Splitter cable.
Little puppy, hey? Are you a small puppy? Hmm? Do you do puppy things? I think you do. Very small. Yes. Ow! Ow, ow! The puppy and she starts biting. Ow! It's not nice.
All right.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, the main reason why you'll see me use micro ATX boards in ATX cases, I can still make it look fine with a smaller board in a bigger case. And it's a hard thing to sort of tell, you know, if you explain to a customer, okay, well, what's the difference? Well, one's, you know, an inch shorter than the other one. Is one more powerful than the other one? No, they both do exactly the same thing. One's just a little bit more circuit board that you're not even using anyway. It costs you an extra $60 that you're not going to spend on your graphics card. Just so there's an extra inch of board there that you're not going to see because your graphics card's going to cover it up anyway. That doesn't make like if I try to sell that to someone, I'm not making a very convincing sale. If you've got the budget and the budget's no problem, then we don't have to worry about things like this. But it's a hard thing to convince someone who's on a budget to spend an extra $60 or $70 or even $100 just so there's, you know, an extra inch of motherboard at the bottom. Because that's something that people will say a lot, but you know, it's something that can be easily planned for. And why put the build in a case that's not going to be as versatile for the customer if it's going to cost, you know, pretty much the same price, or it's just going to be so much better value with the included RGB fans, etc. Couple more fans to plug in.
From Northern Territory won a $1 million fish. They do a challenge every year. They tag a heap of fish with dollar prizes on them.
Oh yes, I've heard of this. See, as long as you have all of these cables along the bottom there, routed discreetly behind the board, once you plug in your graphics card, you basically don't see any of that anymore anyway. And then as long as it's nice and clean at the bottom there and you don't see any cabling, it doesn't look, it looks great, it looks fine. There's no problem with it at all. It does look a bit dodgy when there's lots of cables sticking up there from the bottom, but like I said, you don't have to do that. It's non-essential. And we were, I think, yeah, customers said they wanted some SATA cables routed. So, yeah, it's pretty simple to install your drives. There's just this chassis here that it sits in. So when you get your computer, you'll just have a couple of bolts on the bottom, 2 bolts to undo, and then it just slides out. There are these 4 screws with a bit of rubber around them, and they just sort of like comes out when you remove the 2 main screws. And then you can mount one drive to the top and then one drive actually inside that bracket, and then you put it back and then plug it in. So it's pretty simple. All you need is a Phillips head screwdriver.
Tim, how big is the $75 SSD you got going on?
So it's 1 terabyte. So we could put a 2 terabyte in there. Yeah, just let me know. It's no big deal.
How much is a 2 terabyte?
How much is a 2 terabyte? Approx double the 1 terabyte. Okay, so we've got our 2 SATA cables there. And we'll just leave a line of SATA power there free. Rest of them we don't need there. And then we just need our motherboard and our graphics card. So we're nearly done here. Yeah. Hey man, how you going? Good to have you with us. Hey man, how you going? Good to have you here, as always. Alright, so we're now at the point where we can install our graphics card. So we're still not done with the little challenges, because our 40 series graphics card come with a new kind of power connector. So if you thought you were going to be, all smooth sailing from this point onwards, I regret to inform you, you have more cables to manage and more shit to stuff around with.
Did you put the 2 extra SATA cables in?
Yes. 2 extra SATA cables. Oh, Gowron. We all hail Gowron.
Glory to your house.
Glory to Gowron's house. Yes. Long may he rule. I got the best new name for the dog. I don't know why I didn't think of it before.
What?
Goomba. No, big clunker.
Yes.
He's a Goomba.
He is.
Goomba. Stand tall. Be proud. Goomba. I said it to him earlier, and he got all excited. I'm like, yep, that's your new name now, dude. Okay. So our 4070 Ti is basically the new 3080 equivalent performance. But we have this funky little power connector.
Somebody made paperweight.
Goomba! Stand tall, be proud. Goomba. And yeah, that's one of those movies that most people don't like, but if you're like someone of about my age and you saw it as a kid, it might have nostalgic value for you. And it does to me. I've seen it a million times. Okay, so now we've got two traditional 8-pin or 6+2-pin PCIe cables to plug into our adapter. So I'll show you these adapters up close so you can see exactly what I got to contend with. Okay. And so here's one of the adapters here up close so you can see. So we've got this new connector here. This is a 12+4-pin connector. So you can see 12 pins there on the bottom. And then there's these 4 up here, this little mini one. So a little bit of a strange design, and then it's just 2 8-pins on the back there. So it's just another freaking cable to worry about, to position neatly inside the case, etc, etc. The alternative is to buy an ATX3 power supply, and that's all well and good, and I've sold a lot of PCs so far with ATX3 power supplies, but that's when the budget, allows for that. Because compared to this power supply, we are talking an extra 150% more in the cost of the power supply. That's not nothing. So basically, the power supply we've got in here is about $100 approx, and we'd be looking at a power supply about $270 for the equivalent wattage, but ATX3. So it's not a small difference. It's a big jump up there. You get a really good quality unit and stuff like that. They're not making any shit ones at the moment. Everyone that's on the market is a good quality unit. But still one of those things, right? Okay.
Wait.
So this is all hooked up.
Stop it.
Now it's time to see whether it actually works.
Don't chew the floor. You can't eat the floor. You have to go outside. Look at the mess you've made over here. Give me that book.
All right. Let's see if it works.
Huh? Signal out of range. What do I do?
Just trying to see what the problem is. So that's really strange. It's posted. We've got the latest BIOS on here. So BIOS babe doesn't need to go get a new BIOS.
Annoying because
Turn the camera off and on.
yes, it is.
Alrighty. You can zoom in if you want.
I was moving it so I can zoom in.
So our CPU has our pump, our pump has a PWM fan. System 1 is a DC. System 2 is a DC.
Tim?
System 3 is PWM.
Tim?
Yeah.
Andrew wants to know how much is a 2 terabyte.
Yeah, so it's like double the 1 terabyte, so approx 150. Yeah.
Hunts the Hat says, would you use RGB lights?
Oh yeah. There is absolutely no shortage of RGB goodness with this.
Andrew says, love the RGB.
Yeah, so I mean we can add, obviously we can add as much RGB as anyone wants
There's
to
even
their
like little
build.
IQ triangle.
You can get the little IQ triangles. Post a photo of them.
I am.
The thing is with PCs these days is pretty much everyone gets some RGB. It's just expected that a modern PC will have some sort of lighting on it. I guess that's just kind of where we're at right now.
I have those triangles in mine. They're pretty cool. They're like magnetic. Andrew says, okay, we'll put the 2 terabyte in, please.
Yep, no worries. How's that looking?
You forget to like turn it towards.
Yeah, I know.
Because I heard Andrew loves the colour blue.
Yeah. Yep. So like all of the fans, we can put them on whatever like lighting mode that you want. So the way I've wired this up is the fans in the case. So this fan at the back and the three on the front, they are all hooked up together and they can all be controlled together. So you could have them doing something completely different as to the cables that are on these RGB tubes and the fan and cooler block there. Or actually, I think the cooler block is in with the others. So yeah, you can do a little bit of different stuff there with the lighting because we do have the two fan headers on the motherboard. Yeah. Oh man, where's that?
Someone's from school like looking through their archives and found this from one of their first in-house LAN parties.
Oh jeez. LAN parties. We're showing our age.
Oh, and they're holding a big LAN party in Melbourne on my birthday. Damn it.
A big LAN party in Melbourne.
The big LAN. They call it.
So is that just for nostalgia's sake, I'm assuming? These
Day for gaming, bring along your PC and plug into our network for 12 hours of gaming goodness.
oh wow.
18 plus.
18 plus. Yep.
Only power and network access is provided. Please bring your full PC, including the monitor.
Ha, nice. That reminds me of earlier days.
Oh, you can rent a PC.
Ha, yes, love it. Love it.
Post a link for any of those Melbourneites.
Okay. There we go. Hells yeah. It's just to play Fortnite and Warzone, you know. No, I don't want to play Forza with you.
They've got all sorts of stuff. Oh my god. They've got Super Smash Brothers and Mario Kart.
Can I play some DOS games with someone?
No.
No.
Certain games.
No DOS games. Oh man. See, I'm like essentially old right now. I never thought I'd be old, but I'm
Age
old.
of Empires.
Yeah, Age of Empires. I could get into a bit of Age of Empires.
Halo.
Yeah, I get some Halo.
League of Legends.
LOL.
Mario Kart 64.
Oh yes.
GoldenEye 64.
Oh yes.
Pokemon Stadium 64.
Oh yes.
Yeah, they've got some good stuff.
Yeah, I'd definitely be down with that. But yeah, Melbourne gets all the cool shit.
No.
Okay.
Oh, it's doing it again. This is really annoying. I don't.
Alrighty, and all of the East Coast is back to the one time zone. How good's that?
Yay!
I still have to set the specific one for the southern region so they get daylight saving in 8 months' time. Okay, so for anyone who's still using Dragon Center, please go and switch over to... Oh, have they updated their... MSI Driver and App Center, MSI Companion. Okay. So I think this is just what the app's moved over. It was called MSI Center like even last week. So we'll give that a go. Okay. Alright, put down some custom desktop icons so I don't make a mess of the place when I install some extra software. Alright, so Battle.net there, that is for Call of Duty. Chrome is the world's most used internet browser. crystal disk info and disk mark give us information about our storage devices. It'll tell you before some failures. There are certain failures that can happen with storage devices that it won't say anything in crystal disk info. However, it will tell you, sort of more wear and tear issues. So if you've got older drives, it'll sort of give you an idea of what sort of status they're actually in. You know, you might have an old hard drive and you might be thinking, is it worth still using this hard drive? Is it in a good state? Is it in a bad state? Do I need to, like, you know, as a priority, get all the data off it and stuff? Yeah, so these days you don't really need antivirus. The Windows Defender is fine for ordinary users. Which is good. I always thought it was such a scam that you needed to buy an antivirus thing for your computer. If I've got to pay for Windows, that should be all I have to pay for. That's what I always thought. Okay, so I don't think... You don't even need that anymore. Because everyone just uses, like, the Net 2.0 kind of stuff these days. So, like, Facebook, YouTube, you're dealing with big companies and stuff like that, and you're downloading all your stuff from, like, Steam or wherever. You know, you're not really, the average person's not sort of going onto the Pirate Bay and downloading, like, all sorts of random nonsense on their computer. They're getting it from, you know, it's more legitimized these days. And that's kind of why you don't really need antivirus anymore. Windows Defender is proving itself again and again and again as a yeah, see, look, this isn't right. We should be getting a we should have a different app coming up here that's not coming up at all. maybe they're making some sort of changes and it's being completely relaunched in the Microsoft store, and it won't be there just yet. Okay. Well, there's pretty much just one main thing I need. So I'll go to the manufacturer's website and we'll go over to support, driver, and right there, the first one, AMD chipset driver. It's the main one I want. Everything else is all good. I'm sure we've got the correct drivers automatically installed from Windows. However, the chipset software is normally not something that Windows will download for you. And so that's kind of important, because that's kind of the think of it as the drivers for your actual motherboard, not for other things that are connected to your motherboard, for your actual motherboard. Yeah, so it's not actually in the Windows store at the moment. So I'm assuming they're making some sort of changes, because the apps that when I saw it wasn't there, I downloaded a couple of other MSI apps and they were not what the name led me to believe. Okay, and I think that's pretty much all we need. Alrighty, so I'll set up MSI Afterburner. This is basically software that allows you to sort of make some alterations to how your graphics card runs. So if you wanted to adjust the fan speed on your graphics card, you can do that here. And it comes with this app called RivaTuner Statistics Server, and that will basically allow you to have the on-screen display that you'll see me use when I run the benchmarks. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, everything's in the everything's just in that games folder there.
Wait,
Yeah.
I have that.
See, this system here. This is what I've used for like my whole life. I always put it on everyone's computer. I hate, me personally. I like to have a relatively clean desktop. If I've got something on my desktop, it's like something that I need to work on right away, and I sort of have a bit of an anxiety attack if I've got too much stuff on my desktop. Some things are okay, but yeah, in general, I like to keep it kind of clean. And you don't have to do anything that I do. I just do what I just organize it the way that I do, and then you can do whatever you want. So I put the games in a folder, including the gaming apps there like Steam. You can always just drag it down the bottom and pin it to the bottom there, or you can move it out to the actual desktop. That's completely fine. You can do whatever you want. So then I have one folder for apps, one folder for games, and then I'll make another folder or whatever for work. I mean, I use OneDrive, for example, and I have a OneDrive folder and stuff on my desktop, but I digress. So that's all done. You can update and restart. Little puppy, hey? Are we very small? We're very small. Alrighty. That's sorted. Stop. Bloody Microsoft. Okay. So let's see how she runs. So first we'll run Heaven here on high, no anti-aliasing.
Little puppy. What's up?
And so over here we've got our graphics card, temperature, usage, clock speed and wattage, VRAM usage and clock speed, CPU, temperature, usage, clock speed, wattage, and our RAM usage. And this number here below RAM is how many frames per second it's currently running at. And this is at 1080p high settings.
Do you want some?
What is...
Thing again. It's the camera.
It has done this before.
Little puppy. No, it's still in. The other one's done. That's different. Didn't do that before. Can you smell the chips? Oh. Love you too. She just... Aww.
So sorry, not sure what's going on there.
You happy then? You smelled it. Andrew says he has two 1440p 27-inch screens to run off of.
Oh, yep.
Remember to plug into the graphics card.
Oh, you'll have to. You'll have to anyway.
Oh, you'd be amazed at how many people stuff that one up. They buy this expensive graphics card and then they don't plug into it. It's like...
But in the average person's defense, they plug everything else into the motherboard.
Yeah, I don't know. Are we a puppy?
And so yeah, as you can see, very energy
don't have any more chips. She likes salt and pepper chips.
Of course she does. Alrighty, and so that was Valley there on Ultra with max anti-aliasing. So like I said, it's more demanding a benchmark, and it's also being run on higher settings. And then finally we do superposition here at 4K.
Trying to get down. Yes. It's good mean, yes. Hey, wasp. Looks like an old man.
Yeah, I know. Alrighty, and so that was our 4K results. Yeah, it's MSI center is missing. doesn't seem to do anything. This is just a plug-in app, this one here for Xbox. So yeah, not sure why we're not seeing the MSI Center app there. But that's okay. We don't need it for what we're about to do next. And this is our stress test. So we let this one run for 90 minutes. Make sure nothing's overheating. Giving it a good first kind of run. And hopefully, if something's going to actually die on us early, it dies while I'm doing the stress test or at the end of the stress test, and then I can swap out the part before I send the computer off to the customer. Alright, so basically here we got our furry donut being rendered and projected down this endless corridor, and that's stressing out the graphics card. And then over here we are stressing out the CPU. And so we've got our 6 cores and 12 threads here represented by these 12 blue boxes, and then over here we've got 12 blue boxes working on the picture.
George says there was MSI Center Pro in the Microsoft Store.
Yeah, there was the MSI Center Pro, but that's not the same as MSI Center. They're two different apps, and the MSI Center Pro, I don't think it's always had really bad reviews, so I don't ever put it on anyone's computer. MSI Centers should be the standard, and the fact that it's not there sort of says to me that it's being updated or something, or it's got some sort of problem and it's been removed from the Windows Store. But realistically, we're going to want that one back eventually, so we'll just have to see how that goes. But I mean, it's not, it's not a big deal. It's certainly not going to affect anything right now. But yeah, we've got our graphics card here being stressed out and our CPU here being stressed out.
I did that today. I was like, fuck.
Alrighty. Well, now is the time. If you've got any other final questions for me before I sign off for the night, now is your time to ask, because it gets pretty boring at this stage. This is the point in the night where I go and make myself some dinner, and yeah, let this one run. Because all we're doing is we're basically just tracking our temperatures. So our CPU can get up to 95 degrees. It's running at 56, so 40 degrees under temp. And our graphics card here, the GPU can get up to 83 degrees. Memory and hotspot can get up to 105 degrees, I believe, on this card. So well under temp there for what we're doing, which is exactly what we want to see. What's that? You made me big. Sweet. Yeah, how good does it look? I mean, you can't really see those two top fans. You can if I tilt it. But it's a nice looking case. You've got the RGB strips there on the front, and yeah, the sleeve extenders. Sorry, not extenders. The sleeved covers for the AIO. They do look really good. I gotta say, they're a little bit fiddly to install. I wouldn't recommend it for your first build, but yeah, they're pretty good. I would rate them. Yeah, I would rate them probably looks, probably 9 out of 10. I reckon they look really good. In like usability and how user friendly they are to install, probably only a 5.5 or a 6 out of 10 for that. So definitely a bit lower there. It's not really bad, but it's not great either. Like I said, I wouldn't recommend it for your first build. You'll spend probably 2 hours getting those bloody cables, those sleeves on properly, and yeah. Don't do it to yourself if it's your first PC build. Alrighty. Well, how are we going? All finished for the night, looks like it. Yeah, alright. Well, thanks everyone for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all in the next video.